Sagittarius, welcome to Moonbeam's Messages. This is your collective reading. Now, as this is a collective reading, not everything will resonate, so please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you don't find any messages in this for yourself, then please check your other placements where you are likely to find a message. And today we're going to do a Celtic cross. So let's get into this. So what's going on for Sagittarius spirit? Okay. I always underestimate how much room is needed by a Celtic cross. I'm not going to lie. So they're a little bit all over the place. Okay, so it very much looks like to me you're. It looks like you're doing some introspection. So, question that is coming up for you is very much to do with the hermit. So it looks as though you're trying to learn certain lessons. Maybe you're looking for answers, very much seeking some sort of clarity, some sort of truth, some sort of solution to a problem of some form. You may be doing a lot of research, but you're potentially spending some time alone as well. It could even be about being on your own. What do you need to do? How do how do you make yourself happy? Um, and it's very much looking at things about you, what makes you you, what makes you tick, what makes you happy, what are your boundaries, what triggers you, what doesn't. And it feels like you're very much going through a bit of a soul searching, or you're trying to. Now, it looks as though the King of Swords is the obstacle and challenge. I feel like very much learning what out, potentially learning your own truths, seeing the truth in a situation, and gaining a lot of knowledge here is very much the challenge. Potentially, you may be doing a lot of inner searching and you might just not be finding the information that you're looking for. And it does feel like maybe you don't like talking to people as well. It could be that communication could be a little bit wonky here. I say a little bit wonky. It might not be happening. It could be very much you being kept for yourself. You might need to be asking questions, but you don't necessarily know how to. It does feel very much like the communication part of this card is, it's like it's screaming at me. It feels very much like you might just be very closed off, potentially not even listening to yourself about certain things. Now, it looks very much like you want to move forward. You are looking at making some sort of slow, steady plan to move through whatever it is that is happening. You you know where you want to go, you know where you want to get to. It's very much how do you get there? And it feels to me very much like what you're aiming to do here is make that methodical approach, have that long-term goal and know how you're going to get to it and what you're going to do to get there. And it's all about gaining that stability and having the goal to get the stability here. Now, it looks as though what's happened in the past that's got you in this situation is there's been something that's caused a lot of disruption in your life. We've got the Six of Swords here, where you're very much trying to move forward from some sort of big disruption, a lot of chaos, and potentially a bit of carnage. And it may be that you felt like you're a little bit stuck and like you don't know how to move forward from this. You could potentially be in very much stuck in those choppy kind of waters where You don't know how to face this and how to move forward out of it. But it does feel like that is what has triggered all of this. Something big, something that's brought a lot of chaos into your life, potentially some betrayal as well, some sort of arguments, disruptions, betrayal. It looks as though it's caused you to have some chaos in it. And it feels like you're trying to not necessarily run away from it, but you want to move away from it. You want to come out of that chaos and go into something a bit more steady. Now, in the past, we have a Hierophant, so you have a lot of self-belief here. Now, this Hierophant, though, if you have a look, they're actually burning books. So I feel like you put all your knowledge and faith into something or someone, potentially ignoring your own faith, your own knowledge. Potentially, you even completely ignored your own intuition, because your intuition at the end of the day is your inner knowing. And I feel like in the past, you may have looked to others maybe for answers, potentially put a lot of faith in other people. Maybe you put a lot of faith in a religion itself, hoping that that would bring you answers. But it doesn't seem to have really helped much. And I feel like that's what's brought this chaos around you. Something, maybe it's crumbled a little bit, communication could potentially have broken down. Now, in the future, I do have a Three of Swords, so it is showing me that there is going to be a bit of heartbreak in the future, a bit of grief. I don't feel like it's anything bad. I feel like it's more you dealing with whatever you're searching for. So a lot of the time, if you are dealing with things that have happened to you in the past, you're going to be dredging up painful memories sometimes because you have to go through those memories, you have to feel them in order to move past them. You know, you have to realize what's actually happened. So if you've shut yourself off from something, trying to move on as quickly as you can into something as calm as possible, and you've kind of shut off those emotions, you know, it looks like you might be reopening up, refeeling it, you know, letting those wounds be felt so that you can actually heal from that particular situation. Now, I've got a Five of Wands in how you're looking at something. So it looks to me like you're going to have a lot of compassion for yourself. You're making sure you're not beating yourself up for any kind of conflicting emotions, conflicting ideas that you were having before. And it does look very much like you are trying to find some sort of peace here. I have got the High Priestess in the reverse for the environment and other people. Yeah, and it looks to me like other people around you don't necessarily know, or that they don't really know what's going on with you. You know, they're kind of in the dark. They don't necessarily know how's best to help, how to deal with the situation. It feels very much like things are in the dark. Now, the High Priestess in the reverse is also somebody that will be doing a lot of research to try and find the answers. So it could very well be as well that you are on a journey with other people. You know, you could be going to college, you could be going to some sort of class where you're learning more information in order to deal with things yourself. And it could just be that you've got this whole learning environment around you where there are other people in the same boat. So whether this is all to do with, you know, future planning of your career, potentially, maybe you're even learning a lot of things about yourself, and it might be that you might be going to group counselling sessions, for instance, where you're sharing that knowledge with other people and you're learning information from other people about it. Now, you have got hope. Your hopes and fears. We've got the Three of Wands, so having a lot of patience here. Um, you know, you hope that things are going to get better. You're having that patience to make sure it gets better, but at the same time, you fear that it's very much going to take too long, and then it's going to be dragging on for yeah a very long time. I do have an Eight of Swords in the reverse in your outcome, which is brilliant because it does mean that all of this overthinking that you've been doing, you're freeing yourself up from it. It's very much a card of freedom, a card of no longer thinking about the same things over and over again. It can be a card of movement as well. So it's very much suggesting to me that you are going to be moving forward, getting out of this phase. You're not going to be sitting dwelling on things as much. And I do feel like you are going to be having to think about things, and you're probably going to be thinking about them a lot, especially with this Three of Swords there. But this Eight of Swords is telling me that there's hope that you're going to be coming out of whatever this overthinking is, whatever this pain is that you're going through. You're healing from it and you're moving forward from it, which is lovely. So we're going to get some clarification. I'm not going to clarify the traumatic event, and I'm not going to clarify what you're going to in the future, or well, what you're aiming for, because you know the aim about doing things slowly and steadily, and you already know what your goal is. I don't think there's any need to clarify it. And if you've already gone through some sort of tragic, traumatic event, you'll have already known, and you'll know that this reading's for yourself. Because at the end of the day, whatever this Six of Swords is, it is something that has made you want to move forward, something that's made you want to develop. And I say develop, it's very much the root cause, the foundation of everything. But we are going to clarify. We're going to clarify the Hermit first. So, what is it about this Hermit that you are asking about? Clarify the Hermit for me, please, Spirit. Okay. So I've got a Two of Cups in the upright. I've got an Empress in the reverse. And I also have the High Priestess in the reverse. So this Hermit feels to me, again, with this High Priestess in the reverse, it's kind of clarifying that you want to find information out. You don't have the knowledge for it. You don't know what to be doing in this particular situation. The Two of Cups is suggesting that this has something to do with a partner of some form. Doesn't have to have been a romantic partner. It could be a friend, somebody that you have some sort of emotional bond with. So something's happened potentially with somebody you've got an emotional tie with. And it feels like whatever's happened, you may have been giving quite a lot to a particular situation, and you're now just overwhelmed by it. Now, it could just be that you're looking at how do you get out of this particular slump that you might be in, and how do you move towards another person. That could be very well what you're looking at, how do you come out of being in that solitude, that energy of not feeling very abundant. How do you start something new? Because the Empress is, when she's in the upright, she's all about starting the new. And I feel like you might have been in a bit of a slump for a while, and it feels very much like you're trying to gain the knowledge on how to move forward, how to get out of this slump. Now, what is this Elder of Swords? What's this challenge? What's this obstacle and challenge? This Elder of Swords. Let's get clarity on that. Okay. So part of it's all about healing, potentially healing in solitude as well. Um, Very much you may be lacking a lot of energy, and definite healing is part of this. Potentially finding your own truths and working things out, and healing yourself on the inside. There could be a bit of physical healing included in that, but I feel like it's more mental. We do have a Knight of Swords in the reverse here as well. So I do feel that part of this is about anger. There could have been some miscommunication, something could have made you a bit unhappy about certain things. Um, and I feel like it's all about you, how what triggers you, how do you cope with them. I've got a Page of Cups here. So it does look as though there could be some sort of apology. And I feel like it could be that you might need to listen to an apology. Maybe it's that you need to apologize to yourself. And I feel like the apology could be something that it's emotional, but I feel like it might make you a bit angry and it's going to shake things up. We've got a tower here, and it does feel like this apology that is going to come in is going to shake things up a little bit, potentially make you change the way that you are looking at a particular aspect of things too. Now, that could be very much why there's a bit of trauma, whatever this traumatic event was. Um, you're going to be looking at it from a fresh perspective here, and it is going to help you bring down those barriers. But it is going to be a bit of a challenge because it looks like it's something you've been very angry about for a while. Right, let's get clarity on this Hierophant then. So, what is this Hierophant? What is it that you were believing in quite a lot? What is this Hierophant? Okay, so you've got a Queen of Wands. So here there's a lot of confidence. This could be a person, it could be you. There's a lot of confidence here. There's a lot of drive, a lot of belief that things are going to be really good. I mean, just absolute tons of sunflowers, rudbeckias all around that. It's something where there's a lot of things in bloom here. It's very much having that confidence and the drive and having things just blooming around you. A lot of passion. Um, she's very good natured, very much in touch with nature as well. So it feels to me like you may have been putting your faith in somebody that was very confident. You could have been dazzled by someone's confidence. You could have been dazzled by, I want to say, I've got, what's the song? Vitalite. That's what I've got stuck in my head just from looking at the sunflowers. It's really bad. I don't know if you remember singing sunflowers from Vitalite adverts when they were all over the place when I was a kid. Yellow could be a colour that is very relevant for some of you. Um, I do feel very much like this is somebody that they thought they got everything going, very much having faith that everything's going their way, like everything's going to come to them. They've got the confidence that everything's happening. But then there's this Ace of Pentacles. And I feel like there was something that's happened that has caused either some missed opportunity to occur or some sort of financial loss. And now I've got a 10 of Pentacles here as well. So it looks as though it was something and that it had a knock-on impact on stability, where somebody had faith that there was always going to be that stability there, that there was going to be family and the home, and like they were working towards something. I feel like there's been some sort of financial loss, some sort of loss to stability that has caused this faith to have been shaken a little bit. Um, Especially when you're crossing and you're going through this tower, it very much feels like some sort of truth has been found out. There's had to be a lot of healing that's come from it. It could very well be that somebody's confidence has been shook to the core and you're trying to rebuild it. Like I say, there's definitely some sort of apology that is coming in, but it's going to make that tower fall. Now, at the back of the 10 of Pentacles, you see that there's that tower, that tower there that you felt was there, that was good, that was stable, that you had that reliability in it. It's what's coming down in that challenge. Now let's get clarity on this Three of Swords. What is this Three of Swords that you're going to be going through? Okay. So we've got a Six of Pentacles here. It's very much talking about give and take. Oh no, it's not. It's a Nine of Pentacles. I'm lying to you. It's because it landed halfway and I'm looking at the six or the nine in the wrong way. So Nine of Pentacles then, it did come out to the side. That's why I'm getting confused with the 6 because I clearly can't count pentacles and I'm just looking at a number. Um, it feels to me very much like your sense of independence may have been shook, and you may very well be trying to work out how do you become that independent, stable person again. Something may have happened or is going to be happening where it makes you question potentially your self-worth and what you can bring to the table. What can you do? Are you worth anything on your own? And yes, you are, is the answer to that. But it feels like you're trying to find that out about yourself. You're trying to find a place. I do have a Four of Cups, so it does suggest to me that you are going to be potentially doing a good bit of daydreaming here. It feels like you might be a little bit bored with the situation. You're very much hoping for better days, and they are going to come. I do also have a Five of Cups in to the side. So there's still going to be a sense of grief here, but it is something that you're getting through. You're going healing through it. So yes, there's that sense of loss, there's that grief, there's that sadness, but it's sadness that you are going to be breaking through. You are going to be moving forward from it, but it comes with that sense of independence too. So once you've worked through and you've healed your self-worth, I feel like this grief, you're going to be moving through that as well. You're going to be coming out of it once you've, regained your self-worth and regained that belief within yourself. And I feel like over here that Queen of Wands is very much you believing all about yourself, believing that you've got everything going for you, and for some reason, something got took and took away from you, and that it's like a core belief has just been pulled out from under from under your feet, and you're having to re-find yourself. Now, let's have a look at this Five of Wands. Okay, so it looks like you're trying to move on from this as quickly as you possibly can. You are approaching it with the view to moving rapidly. So we've got an Eight of Wands here. You're also very open to communication here. We do have a Nine of Wands in the reverse. So you are willing to be vulnerable. You're willing to let people in. So it could very well be that if you've got people helping you, you're very willing to bring those boundaries down and deal with what you need to so you can move forward out of this. It does look as though it is a slow process, though. We do have this world in the reverse. So you are trying to close out a chapter, but you're just hanging on to it just a little bit. It's going slow. It is something where you are coming to the end of a cycle, coming to the end of a chapter, but it's just slow to work through. It doesn't look as it's going as fast as you'd like it to. Now it could also have something to do with physical movements too. It could very well be that how to put it, you want to move forward, but at the same time, you don't want to move forward. That sounds weird, but it's like sometimes you can have a breakup, for instance. People want to move forward, they want to heal, they want to get out of that horrible feeling of guilt, of shame, of regret, of sorrow, remorse. Even if you've done nothing wrong within a relationship, or, if the relationships fell apart because of infidelity, even the same with work, if something's happened and you've ended up having to quit work, there can be that feeling of guilt and shame and everything else, and you want it to feel better, you want it to get better, you want to talk about it, you want it to get off your chest and move forward. But at the same time, there's that hope that things will go back to how they were. And that's very much what I'm feeling here with this Five of Wands. You're trying to be as patient with yourself as possible because you know that it is a slow process. You know that you are going to get out of it. You want to move quickly, but it's slow moving because you're still in a bit of conflict at the end of the day, which is normal with having a core belief shook from under you. Now, the environment then. So I've got a Six of Cups in the reverse. So it feels like this is definitely to do with somebody from the past. It looks to me like they may be trying to come and talk to you. I've got a Page of Swords here. They may have been watching you try to deal with things. They are very much ready to come and talk to you. When it's in the reverse, it can be a little bit short, and I don't feel like you want to hear it. I don't feel like you're ready to listen to them. And I feel we've got a King of Cups here, so they are coming forward with some sort of message of, I want to say love, but it might not be love. It could just be it's an emotion-filled message. So whether they are coming to apologize and to tell you, that they're sorry for what's happened, whether they are wanting to just get things off their chest, I'm not sure. But it does feel to me like there is very much some sort of message that is coming in. Somebody is feeling their emotions here, and there's a lot of them, and they're ready to basically just get it off their chest. All right, what is this Three of Wands, this hope and fears spirit? Okay, I mean, that I can understand. I mean, with that Three of Wands, you're obviously looking at patience, having that patience to move forward. We've got a Ten of Cups. So, as well as having that patience, the Ten of Cups in the reverse, it's like you fear that you're not going to have that happy family. You potentially are worried that it's never going to be happy like you once had it. I've got a Queen of Swords here. Maybe you're scared of trusting again, letting anybody in. You're keeping your boundaries up high. You're hoping that somebody isn't going to try and pull the wool over your eyes potentially. I do have an Ace of Swords in the reverse. So maybe you're scared that you're never going to learn the truth of a situation. It could be that you're fearful that you've got to cut somebody out or something out as well. Um, I do feel like you may be a little bit worried about you understanding certain situations. And I feel like it's more about yourself. Maybe you feel like, or maybe somebody blamed you for something, and you're now going through this deep dive to see just how much you were at fault, and it could be that you're scared of learning information about yourself. Now, what is this Eight of Swords in the reverse? What's this outcome? Because it looks quite hopeful. I do feel like it's a hopeful outcome. Say hopeful, it feels like it's a nice outcome, no longer being stuck in your head and overthinking, moving forward. Yeah, so we've got a Queen of Cups here. So it does feel like you are going to start feeling your emotions, but you're going to make sure that you're not giving them out to anybody that doesn't deserve them. The Queen of Cups there is very much about give and take. When she's in the upright, she is a big giver. In the reverse, you stop giving. So this to me looks like you're trying to find that balance between giving and not giving, which is lovely to see. Now, I do have the Magician in the reverse. So you are feeling still like there could be a little bit of a lack of self-confidence. It could also be that you just don't want anything at this point in time, You're happy to move forward on your own, doing your own thing. I've got a Knight of Pentacles here. Sorry, a Page of Pentacles. Now, he's suggesting to me a little bit that you don't necessarily know what way to go forward. You might not know what it is that you want just yet. But you are going to be letting go of some big burden that's been happening, something where you feel like you've been betrayed, like somebody stabbed you in the back, something that gave you a lot of anxiety and stress. You're walking away from it and you're closing this chapter out. Now, that could also be self-sabotage, um, but whatever it is, you'll know when it happens because it's something that you've been thinking about for a long time, something that you keep on playing and repeating over and over that's been keeping you stuck. This is you letting it go and moving forward from it. You might not know where to go. You might not know what you're going to do next, but one step at a time. And the first thing to do is to let go of that betrayal so that you can take that leap into your next chapter. Right, let's get you an Angel of Light card to see What else is Spirit going to bring you? So, patience here. So trust the higher forces of life to know what is best for you. And remember that when you are asked to wait, you are being prepared for something even better than you expected. So relax your attitude to one of acceptance. Relax and take stock. Ask your angel to enfold you during this waiting period so that you can listen to the promptings of the divine. Do not rush off into some wild goose chase or lower your will. When the time is right and you're ready and refreshed, the next door will open. Patience is always rewarded. Your affirmation, all things happen at the perfect time, which is absolutely spot on with that hopes and fears. Things are going to get better. It's going to happen when it needs to. And then beginnings as well. Life is a series of cycles, and time of rebirth is indicated for you. This may mean a new phase in a relationship, the germination of a fresh idea, or development of qualities in you like laughter, light, or hope. It may herald a total change. Do not be afraid to let go of the familiar, for the new cannot enter until the old and outworn has departed. Your angel guidance is to accept the new form and be welcome when it arrives. Birth is a vulnerable time. The fragile life force needs to be protected and nurtured within you. Ask the angels to guide you. Ask the angels to guide the new beginnings in your life safely to maturing. Your affirmation: I welcome and nurture the new in my life, which is very much what it feels like this is all going on about, having that patience that you're going through a new cycle. There is a big change. You're learning all about yourself. You are going through that new beginning, and it is having that patience to let it mature, let it grow, and move forward from it better and wiser than what you have been. Right, I hope you enjoyed your reading today, Sagittarius. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It will help pass the message on to anyone else that needs to hear it. And if you want to hear more from me and you haven't subscribed already, if you press that subscription button and press the notification bell, we'll let you know when I do post more content. To those of you that have subscribed already, thank you very much for your subscriptions. It's greatly appreciated. It helps the channel grow and helps pass those messages on. So thank you for your support. As always, good luck and thank you very much for joining me.